It's a mixed answer right now. We are able to identify automations and activity coming through our API. And to Senator Warner's comments, we would be able to label that with context. But we are not necessarily as easily able to identify people who might be scripting our website. So making it look like it's an actual human, or even the app, make it look like an actual human performing these actions, that becomes much more challenging and unclear. So in consideration of labeling and context, we need to make sure that when people see that bot label, that they're assuming that everything it's not on is human. We need to make sure that there's a precision and accuracy as we label those things.
But wouldn't there be a value in beginning the labeling process, even with the heavy disclaimer that this identifies only a fraction of potential fictitious actors?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an idea that we've been considering, especially this past year. It's really up to the implementation at this point.
Ms. Sandberg, your comments?
This is one of the ideas I had an opportunity to discuss with Vice Chairman Warner yesterday in his office and is in his white paper, and we're committed to working with you on it.
Thank you. Let me just ask you a question. Going forward, I think we're going to come to a major debate within this country, within the whole world, of who owns my data, which rapidly is becoming me. Is it a company like Facebook? Is it a company like Twitter? Which raises the question of, do you believe that your users should have the right to control what you do with their data, either selectively, an individual occurrence, or generically, or even simply purge it at some point? Do you believe that should be the fact?
Yes, very strongly. It's your information. You share it with us. If you want to delete it, we delete it. And if you want to take it with you, we enable you to download it and take it with you.
What about for those people, I think many people who, in the hustle and bustle of every day, that's a very cumbersome process. Shouldn't they be allowed to sort of have a check that says every 2 months delete it, or delete it as soon as I put it in, or?
Yes, and we're working on some of those tools, and we've improved. We've made it easier to understand what information we have, how we're getting it, and how we use it, and we're going to continue to iterate here.
Mr. Dorsey, the same question.
We do believe people should have complete control over their data. I think, again, Senator Warner brought up an interesting point earlier, which is I don't believe that there's a real understanding of the exchange being made in terms of people performing activities on these services and services like Twitter, and how they can actually see that as an exchange of value. And those are things I would love to think a lot more about. How do we make that more clear? And I think that goes back to the incentives conversation.